Thank you for being here. My name is Ralph Badanelli. I'm one of the program chairs. Won't spend a lot of time talking about logistics and schedules. If anybody has any questions about how we're going to run the next few days, please track me down and I'll be happy to help you out. We have a full schedule, as you can tell if you've seen the schedule on the website. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our president, Kris Singh, who has put together not only this conference but SRII itself. So Kris, thank you.
Good morning, and very warm welcome to all of you to our first SRII Global Conference. Great to see all our friends from all around the world. We had a big meeting yesterday with all SRII SIGs and chapters meeting, which had about 80, 90 people participating. We have a very exciting program where we are very pleased to have many senior leaders from industry, academia, research, as well as the government organizations participating. So before I walk you through the details of the program, let me briefly talk about SRII, who we are, what we are trying to accomplish, what is our mission, what's our deliverables. And again, there are a lot more questions, and I expect all these smart people in this room in the next 3.5 days to go figure out the answers. So first of all, our mission is pretty holistic. We want to drive innovation for IT-enabled services for a better world. So I think these words have a lot of meaning, but I guess all of us can understand the importance and the value of this mission. I would also like to elaborate this term, so-called IT and services, because it has lots of broad meaning. As all of us have seen the era of IT and the wonders of IT that we have seen from semiconductors to computers to internet, and how it has affected and improved our quality of life and productivity and GDP and employment all around the world. But we also know that what we have done is just the beginning. There's so much more to be done. As all of you know, we have close to 6.5 billion people in the world, and the IT that you and I talk about has not touched a large percentage of those people. So that's one of our ultimate mission, is how do we take IT and IT-related services which will help improve quality of life and productivity for society at large. So from that perspective, let me share with you our focus on services. So when we talk about services and IT services, the typical meaning of IT services today is supporting back-end finance or HR or administrative IT functions. But for SRII, our focus is much broader, much holistic. We want to look at services at large in terms of our major verticals: healthcare, finance, energy, retail, telecom, education, even agriculture. That's our focus from the service point of view. The other dimension we want to look at, what we call them horizontal dimension, such as technology, hardware, software, cloud computing, information management, service process, business process, models, tools, human factor engineering. So those are what we call them horizontal disciplines and domains. So those are the two dimensions that we want to approach this IT-enabled service focus going forward. Now, let me share with you how we have structured this organization. So first, the leadership of SRII comes from many of the major ICT companies all around the world. This is almost once in a lifetime opportunity for us to connect together IBM and HP and Oracle and Cisco and Microsoft and all those major IT companies all around the world to look at the subjects we just talked about in a much more holistic fashion. But in a very strong partnership with academia, research institutes such as CSIRO, NSF for government university academia partnership, major universities, as well as government organizations all around the world. So the structure is, organizational structure is very robust. We have support and partnership of major IT companies as well as research and government organizations and academias all around the world. So we feel that we have a very powerful mission, which is to drive IT-enabled services. We also have a very powerful, strong commitment from these organizations. So we feel that we have two most important ingredients already in place in terms of our mission and in terms of our support and partnership. The next is to define the strategy and roadmap and deliverables. I will share with you some of the strategy that we have in place, some of the work we are starting to work on. But again, that is a journey, and all of us here in this room are to work together to define the details of what and how we do those specific initiatives. So let me share some of our major strategies about SRII. So we are building what we call them special interest groups, focus groups around major focus areas. Cloud services, as all of you know, how cloud is going to help sort of redefine even the whole IT service model, how IT has been used historically and how it will be used going forward. Healthcare IT is a big, big focus for all around the world. How we have used IT in every aspect of our life versus healthcare, there's so much more to be done. Intelligence services, information management, service innovation, engineering, quality, cross-enterprise collaboration, university research, new curriculums, environmental services. Yesterday we had a very good presentation from CSIRO research group who shared with us all their major work that they are doing in the environmental services, and we plan to have them lead this focus area for SRII at a global level. We also want to build an IT for agriculture. How many people could have thought of agriculture and IT connection? But let's not forget, agriculture is still a major part of economy around the world. Even in the Silicon Valley where we live and where this conference is hosted, California agriculture is still one of the major part of economy even for this state, right? So our goal here is to, and I will have some people in the research forum who will share with you how they are building sensor networks in agriculture to help control the irrigation system and the water and electricity. So there's a huge, huge area for improvement in agriculture and IT applications in those areas. Next, a strategy is around building chapters. So we want to make sure, while we focus on SIGs, which are global in nature with experts from all around the world, we also want to focus on specific regions in the country because each major country has own socioeconomic and service and IT needs. And we want to work with the leaders of those countries and help drive their service innovation agendas for that region. So we have built chapters in India, Thailand, Australia, Germany, Spain, Japan, Vietnam, and Taiwan, and many, many others are in the process. In fact, what you will see by the end of the day, you see a bunch of tables and the poster boards. All SIGs and chapters will be showing their work that they are doing in different part of the focus area that I just mentioned. We had yesterday 8-9 hours of very intense and good discussions around different focus topics from SIGs and chapter, and we are very pleased to have the leaders of those teams here who will share with you all the great work they're doing, and more importantly, ask for you to provide insight and support and participation. So, at the end, what are we trying to deliver with all the work that we are trying to do? One of the most important deliverable is this particular conference. As many of you participated in our, what we call them SRII Leadership Summit last year in Ritz-Carlton Hotel, not too far from here, where we had over 100 senior leaders, and we called that meeting Leadership Summit because we wanted to share with you what SRII is all about, what we need to do, mission, strategy, and get your inputs and build the focus areas. And that's exactly what we did last year. And one of the output from that conference or meeting was to start a service research conference, what we call them the Conference for Service Innovation at a global level. And that's exactly what we have delivered to you this week. Next one is build industry, academia, government partnership. As all of us know, as we go forward, the IT and societal impact of IT is so huge that no one company, no one organization can do alone. So it is important that we all connect industry, academia, and government. You will see we have leaders from many organizations such as NSF here participating, and we will be working with them to build a unique partnership where how can we connect together and focus on building unique research initiative for all these areas that I just mentioned. The third one is help drive standards. Now, as IT becomes global, there are obviously a lot of standards issue from technology as well as even from regulation point of view. So our goal here is not necessarily become a standards body for everything, but we help a lot of those standard bodies that already exist in terms of providing a specific requirement and directions. These are some of our major sort of deliverables, but having defined these deliverables, I must remind SRII is a journey, and in this journey we will continue to fine-tune and redefine our deliverables and focus areas as we go forward. So let me now come back to this conference, what we have for you. We are very pleased to have several distinguished speakers here as keynote speakers. We have a total of 15 keynote speakers. I think we may have set a record of keynote speakers for any given conference. And keynote speakers such as Robert Morris from IBM and Prith Banerjee from HP. Very rarely you see leaders from two large, giant IT company, and very often we compete in some areas to come together to drive some of these agendas that we have just outlined here. We have 8 panel sessions, again, with more than 45 experts on that panels from healthcare IT to cloud computing to service engineering, and you will get a chance to interact and meet and get a lot of insight from them. We have more than 30 papers out of close to 200 submitted papers, which will be presented in this conference in multiple tracks or parallel tracks today and tomorrow, and also day after. Then we also found there were a lot of great papers that we could not find time to accommodate in this parallel session, so we created something called Research Forum. And you will see in the evening that the work done by a great bunch of research scientists from all around the world who will display their work in the poster session, what we call the Research Forum. And those research papers will also be published as part of our joint partnership with IEEE. We are creating a special proceeding of SRII and IEEE for this conference. Then we have 16, total of 8 SIGs and 8 chapters here. As I mentioned, we had that team meeting yesterday, and they will be sharing their work through the poster session and also interactive discussions with you, okay? Now, let me come to get this conference started. So I gave you a little bit of background. Hope you got some perspective of who we are, what we're trying to do. So in summary, we have a very powerful mission. We have a very strong support from leaders from all around the world. What we need to do is start, once we have those 2 ingredients in place, then the rest is defining the details, shouldn't be too difficult. And that's what we start today from conference like this.